Today, I'm gonna talk to you about 5 study habits in preparation for an exam. So many people are taking exams right now. I've just taken 2. My last exam I took in March. And I noticed a lot of people are taking exams right now, but a lot of people are unsure on how to approach studying for the exam. So that's probably one of the most common questions that I've been getting. Also, just so that everybody know, my comments were being held. I'm kind of new to some of this YouTube stuff, so I'm just replying to a lot of those messages from my first video, except my apologies, but we getting it done, okay? Don't forget to go back to those videos and get those replies if you left a comment, all right? So it's important to know how to study and prepare for these exams. You know, you gotta have a mindset prepared, because if you're all over the place, you're not gonna do well, okay? So number 1 is gonna be consistency. The choice is up to you on how you approach this, but it's important that you be consistent with whatever your decision is, whatever your plan is. You have to be consistent, because not being consistent can cause you to get into other things and lose focus. So you gotta be consistent. Let me see what I have in number 2. Number 2, I'm running through these, y'all. Number 2, set a time for your studies and a timeline for your overall study. So if you're gonna study every day, 8 o'clock in the morning, base it on your schedule. You know, I like to study early in the morning, probably before anybody wake up. So I study first thing after I get up, get myself together, then I have to study when my brain is fresh, early. I can retain a lot of information early in the morning. So that's when I set my studies. I would recommend you do the same thing. Set your studies for when you can retain the most information. What time of the day are you most sharp? And try to center your studies around that. Also, a timeline. How long are you gonna be studying? How long are you gonna study in preparation for this exam? That's important too. Have a solid plan. If you're gonna study for 5 weeks and then have us on the 6th week do a review, that's a plan. If you're gonna study for 4 weeks and have a review on the 5th week, that's a plan. Of course, set your study period according to when your exam test date, all right? So the next thing is plan out the material that you're gonna cover. Don't be all over the place. When I did my first exam, I'm gonna be honest, when I first studied for the Microsoft MTA Fundamentals exam, I was all over the place. I was so all over the place, I had to reel myself in. I had to say, okay, wait a minute, this is getting crazy. So I had to say, wait a minute, you need to stick with something. You need to stick with, okay, I'm gonna stick with these 3 videos, or I'm gonna stick with watching these 2 videos, and then I'll read this particular, I'll read Microsoft, do the Microsoft Learned activities. Be consistent, but make sure that Microsoft Learned is in your study plans. Do not overlook that, okay? So that's number 4. That's number 3. Number 4, when are you reviewing the content? I mentioned this in number 3, but when are you gonna set that review? Because when I first took my first exam, even though I did really well, no, this was my second exam. When I took my second exam for Microsoft Azure, and again, if you haven't seen my review on that one, go and watch that video. It's some very important information for you Microsoft Azurers out there. So when I took that exam, I didn't set my review when I was gonna review everything. I had everything else set, but I didn't set the review time frame. And I regret that, and as you can see, if you go check out the video, you'll see what happened and how that played out, okay? So it's important to have that mapped out. Number 5, stick to the plan. Whatever you come up with, stick to the plan. Unless you realize something is just tragically not working, that's the only way I would change anything in your plan. If you realize something that's just not working, or maybe something came up in your life that is going to cause you to have to make some adjustments, make the adjustment and stick to that plan. But you got to stick to a plan. These are 5 really easy things. Well, I felt like they were easy to follow, you know, because when my mind is on a goal, I don't care. I can focus really well when my mind is on something. When it's something that I want, I can zoom in on it. And at that time, I can actually be consistent. Even though I'm not usually a consistent person, I'm pretty much scattered and all over the place. And anybody who knows me knows this. But when I get focused on a goal and I can see it and I can envision it, I can be very consistent when it comes to getting it. And I don't stop until I get it. So I want everybody out there who is taking these exams, who's studying, I want you to be able to zoom in like that. You know, zoom in like a lion looking, you know, at a prey in the jungle. You know, you have to get this. Focus. But I guarantee, if you follow these steps, you will pass the exams, okay? So you don't have to be stressed and worry yourself about it. You're gonna pass it, okay? Just follow the 5 steps and you'll be good. So that's it for this. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Definitely share. If you like the content, short and sweet, get to the point, that's the kind of content I want to deliver to everybody, all right? So like, share, subscribe, and till next time, peace.